Hey y'all, let's make something for spring.
For this project, you're going to need some wooden letters, and you're going to need something to put them on. It could be a plaque like this one, which is what I'm going to use. This is a flower-shaped one. You can get different shapes, or you could just get a square shape, but a wooden plaque like this one. I got these letters at Dollar General. You can also get them at Walmart. They're a little more expensive at Walmart, I think, but they might be prettier. They're kind of fancier looking. And I got this at Dollar Tree for $1.25. Now, the next thing you want to do is figure out what you want your sign to say. And I want mine to say Welcome Spring. So I'm going to find those letters and kind of figure out on here where I would put them. Okay, so that's kind of how I'm going to do the letters, I think. I've got they're spelled out. Now I'm going to decide how I want to decorate this. And I've got to decide on a back color. Do I want to do it in one color? Do I want to do a texture on the background? And then I got to decide on the letters and how I want to do them. One of the things I tell people is just think about color theory. Opposite colors look really good together. Complementary colors look really good together. I like to work in colors of three different colors. So if I think of I definitely want to use green on this. Okay, so the opposite of green is red. Do I want to use red on the spring one? Maybe not. I think I might use pink. So I'm thinking pink and green. All right, and then a complementary color of green is yellow or blue. So I'm thinking either green, blue, and pink, or green, yellow, and pink. I haven't decided yet. I'm gonna look at some papers and stickers and things, and I could do all four of those colors: green, blue, yellow, and pink. So we'll see. So I've decided that I'm going to do decoupage on this in different patterns, floral patterns, and then some solids probably too, and some stickers to create a really colorful and very springy background. So these are the papers I've chosen to kind of work with, and I don't really like using cardstock to do decoupage, but sometimes that's all you have. And so that's what I'm going to do. The solids are all cardstock, unfortunately. They don't really do as well with decoupage, but it works. It just doesn't work quite as good as like a regular thinner paper. So as you can see, it's coming along. I'm just adding the papers, little pieces at a time until I get it all covered up. Okay, so this is the background. I've got it kind of ready. And the top up here, there is a hole at the top, but I did cover it up, but I'll just have to pinch it back through. I'll have to push it back through with a pin or something when I'm done. And I've got everything on here. It's just gonna dry. And while it's drying, I'm gonna get my letters ready. So what I've done is I've laid my letters out, and I'm gonna choose a color. I'm gonna use marker to color them, and I'm gonna choose a color that contrasts with where they're gonna be laying, so they'll kind of stand out. Okay, I've got my letters colored, but now you know me, I'm gonna add some sparkle. Now, one of the things I love about these wood plaques is that you can do them on both sides. So here's the side we were working on originally, the spring side. And it's all ready to be hot glued with the letters. But with this one, I decided to switch it over, and on this side, I'm gonna do a St. Patrick's Day themed one. And one of the things I was gonna say was that when a lot of people, remember there's no right or wrong when you're doing a craft. There's no wrong way, no right way, in my opinion. And when you're doing Mod Podge, one of the things I've found a lot of people will do is they'll use Mod Podge as their finish. When they're done, they cover the whole thing in Mod Podge. And I don't particularly like doing that myself because I find Mod Podge to be sticky even when it dries. I find that if I store things together that are covered in Mod Podge, when I try to get them apart, they're all stuck together. If you put paper between them, the paper's all stuck to them. That's what I have found to be the case. So I don't do that. When I'm done with something with Mod Podge, what I do is I then coat it in something else, like a nail polish or a polyurethane coat, depending on the size. Something else I just kind of wanted to mention that can be really funny, but also can be a little bit of a problem. When you're cutting these shapes, when I'm cutting these shapes, I don't really think about what the shape's gonna look like when I'm done, especially these that I put in the middle that are just kind of like blobs. But when you're finished cutting them, make sure you look at them, because sometimes if you're not thinking about it, it might look like something that you don't really want on your art. And I have before finished one and looked back and said, ooh, that blob looks like something that I just don't want on my art. So make sure you look at those little shapes before you glue them down. So one thing I told you a while ago was I don't particularly like to use cardstock when I'm doing Mod Podge. And this is why. I don't know if you can tell right here, but when you put the cardstock on, it has a tendency not to want to lay down. it's so stiff. So you kind of have to let the Mod Podge kind of soak into the paper for it to actually lay down flat. And you kind of have to squish it over and over again to get it to lay down flat. You have to put a lot of Mod Podge on it. It will work, it just is a little bit more difficult. So here's our finished product. This is the one I planned out, Welcome Spring. I think it turned out really, really cute. I love that. But my afterthought, I think I might even like it better, Your Lucky Day. It is so adorable. It turned out so great. Of course, you know I love the sparkles. I love the sparkles. I can't wait to hang this up. Of course, I gotta wait a little while because it's not quite time for spring yet. It's only late January, but right now, so I gotta wait a while. I'll probably wait a while to post this video as well, but I love this. I think it turned out so cute.